guys. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of technical difficulty with Skype. Fuck Skype, but I'm sure they'll turn me off now because I said that. Let's see. HeartlandDefenders.com. Heartland Defenders here on Facebook, and Heartland Defenders on YouTube. Let's see. Let's get Mike and Jacob in here. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
And don't mind me. I'm exhausted.
I'm sure you are. We'll get to that in a moment. I apologize for being late. With the technical difficulties, we probably could have figured out if the restaurant I was at would have not taken forever for me to give me my to-go order. I haven't eaten yet, and I was there for an hour and a half. So.
Oh, dude, we did that last night at Bojangles.
Look, John Vorder, it's like we're still eating tacos. He's still sitting at the restaurant.
Wow.
And I had a 45-minute drive home. Anyways.
Nice.
So basically I had to order my food, book on out. I was expected I could have eaten, but I was smart. I told him to put everything in to-go things and just be ready so I could leave. And basically, you saw my message. I'll be there 5 minutes before.
Yeah. I wasn't here much before you, so don't worry.
Yeah, well, I logged in, and he couldn't hear me, so I had to restart my computer for him to hear me, or whatever, I don't know. But we got it figured out, and we're live, which is great. Hope everybody had a good Sunday. Hope everybody that went to Virginia had a good weekend. It's probably why their Mike's tired. How was that drive back?
Actually, you know what? We didn't hit rain as many places as I thought we would. It was actually not bad. You know, of course, the minute, as usual, when coming from D.C., the minute you hit the Ohio border, rain.
Of course.
Every freaking time.
And it looks like it's been raining on and off here all day on this side by Youngstown, so yeah.
Oh yeah, when we passed your house, it was drizzle, but after we got past 5, it was pouring again.
Nice. Nah, but so I went to the meeting today, hence why I was gone and went to dinner.
Dude, I didn't get home until probably about 4:30ish, I think. Maybe a little bit more.
Nice. Yeah, we it was a good meeting. We went over ballistics. Somebody won a prize. I won the second place prize.
And that was Mr. Joe B?
Well, I don't. Somebody.
You didn't care, right?
Well, I don't know if I've met him, and if I have, it might have been once. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, cool.
He wasn't there, so it was somebody.
Oh, okay.
Which was really disappointing because we were hoping somebody there would have been like, all right, but everybody's like, ain't me, and somebody's like, oh yeah, it's this person. It's not here. But okay, all right, fair enough. And Jane, yes, I know we were late, and yes, but hey, Jane, Mexican for dinner. That's how much time I had getting home. I didn't even tell her Mexican, not hamburgers. No, I mean, it was good. I won the shooting mat, so I won second place. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
So
yeah, it was. We had an interesting weekend. It was.
It looked a little wet for the Virginia thing.
It was. I'm gonna be honest. You know what? It was educational. It was. It sucked because it rained. I mean, it poured before. When we got there, it was a light drizzle, then it started pouring. And then, of course, and I don't know, Aubrey may or may not be watching. He was late for his own event, which is okay. He's fashionably late.
Hey, you know.
Fashionably late. But I mean, the turnout was kind of a Columbus rally.
Oh, really?
Those of us that have been to Columbus know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry. It wasn't the last Virginia rally.
Yeah, however, the neat thing about it was, even though it was small, there were still a lot of different groups. So even though not a lot of people showed up, a little bit of people from a lot of groups showed up.
Well, good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So it was.
So some networking and some
for a small of a rally, it was really cool because I bet I talked to people that a lot of people in here probably would never talk to. I spoke to people from the Huey B. Brown? It's a black organization,
Okay.
a gun organization. Talked to members of the new Black Panthers.
No.
Yeah. Talked to a gentleman. I will find.
I gotta like how that conversation went.
It was well, you know what? It was very cordial, believe it or not. Okay. Now they were very. They're a militant group. Let me just put it that. I mean, they are.
Are they INFAC or are they more civil?
They are. I would say they are very community driven.
Okay, so INFAC is fuck anything that's not us.
No, I mean, obviously, both those gun groups. You know, I mean, I would say saying Black Panthers as a gun group probably isn't right as much. The Huey B. Brown group is a black gun group. I mean, that's what they are. They're a black militia, for a better lack of terms. That's what they are. They were, both groups, them and the Black Panthers, were both very. Their focus obviously is the black community. You know what I mean? It's not so much that it's F the white community as much as you guys already got enough going on. We're taking care of ours. Kind of attitude. You know what I mean? So not, very cordial, very, I mean, they didn't talk a lot. There were other groups. Like there was, and I'll have to post, his group is called Us for Us. And I guess it's a throwback to something from the mid 80s or early 90s. It was a community group that basically used to walk kids to school, in bad neighborhoods. They used to walk kids to school. They used to sit at bus stops with them and wait till the buses came. They policed their own community. He was actually a former gang member who there was some perv going around trying to abduct kids in a poor black neighborhood. And the police were kind of like, well, you find something, call us. And he basically got together with other gangs and, people he wouldn't normally associate with and said, you know what? F this. This is happening in our neighborhood. Nobody's going to take care of our neighborhood like we're going to take care of our neighborhood. So let's get together. And basically they formed a block watch, for a better word. And they basically found this guy, kind of put a beat down on him and called the police. They more or less solved the crime in their own community. And then he
watching the closed captioning for that statement right there.
Yeah. So then after that, he found somebody had told him about, there's this old group that used to do this. So he found one of the original members, and that guy helped him create a legit organization called Us for Us. I just actually joined it recently, this morning. And now they're a community policing. They actually protect their neighborhood.
Good.
So it's a cool.
Let everybody know if you're not really paying attention to the closed captioning there, that whole down thing. It said up down.
Up down.
Up down.
I guess that's kind of how it went. Yeah. But here's the crazier part about this whole story. So in the end, he is actually a black conservative.
So he thinks for himself.
It was pretty. Yeah, you know what? It's so funny that the biggest takeaway I had. Well, there's two big takeaways, and one I'm going to tell you next. Is that as much as we would probably never approach those kind of groups which quick story. So in the beginning, it went just like how you thought. Me and Jason and some other guy who came down, up or down from Virginia Beach, in the Navy, a kid in the Navy, heard about this and came up. And we were sitting outside of the rain, and he came over to us. So it was it was the three of us basically, and then a lot of people were not the same color as us, walked kind of by us, kind of like, oh, hey, what are those guys doing here? I mean, I had my hat on and my shirt, and we had our Patriot stuff, and it was clear he's a military kid. I mean, there was no distinguish. I mean, you knew he was a military kid. And it was funny. So all these people, so there's like three of us here, and at this point now, across the street, it was right where we were standing before.
Okay.
That's where the whole thing took place.
Okay.
So there was probably about 100 plus people all over there, and a mixture of white and black and Hispanic, and but they could tell they probably all been to rallies and stuff together. I mean, they kind of knew each other. You could kind of tell. So, and at this point, Aubrey still isn't here, mind you. Sorry if you're listening. I threw you under the bus. But so finally, I see him in the distance. I see him coming. Right when he's in that large group, I'm like, because like I said, we're kind of getting those looks like, eh. So as we get, as he's kind of, doing it, he's doing the elbow thing because he's kind of worried about the Rona thing. So I'm like, come on, Jason, let's go. So Jason and I walk past everybody. I mean, I beeline right for him. And you can tell people are like, wait a minute. So I walk right up to him. I'm like, Aubrey, and he's like, my brother from Ohio. And the people's faces, they're like, hey, everybody, this man came 8 hours for this shit. And the people's faces were just like, what?
Like, we can't get people to come from town, let alone 8 hours.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was cool, but he really kind of made a point and set a tone with a lot of people that he even at one point had us all take a picture, right, together, and when all the press was there, and there was actually still quite a few press, I'd say about a dozen guys, as they're getting ready to take their picture of everybody in the crowd, and as their video, he straight up looks at all the press and says, listen, I'm going to tell you guys right now, don't none of you motherfuckers spin this picture. Don't make this picture out to be something you want. He's like, this is unity, whether you like it or not. He's like, if you don't like it, don't take the picture. He's like, but don't twist this shit. He's like, this is what unity looks like. And that was pretty slick.
Well, we got a conversation on 3 minutes, but all I can say to that is that statement is very, 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 very accurate. But with the media, all they'll do is not post it anywhere.
Right.
Or they'll post it on some back page, 18 pages deep on the
Here's
website.
the cool thing, though. Here's the cool thing, as usual, and I didn't know this. Mr. Ford Fisher, I guess, has some interns, so to speak.
Yeah.
So because Ford was in Georgia.
We watched that video.
Yeah. Okay. So, but his intern was there. So as Aubrey was saying all this, you know how News to Share does. He's got it all on video.
Nice.
Okay.
So, you know how they are. They don't cut. So anybody can spin it the way they want, but they go to News to Share, they can find the real story. So it's pretty cool. But so real quick then, my biggest point, two big things, but I'll do the one and then we'll talk briefly after air because I'm going to get some sleep, but there's a couple things I want to talk about off air. But remind me, if I didn't tell you now, you guys will like this. But so we all know who BLM is. We all know who the three women who started BLM, and we probably have, most of us watching this probably have some issue with especially the Marxism and their outright belief in it. Now, do you know how many across the country, maybe even across the world, but I believe he said across the country. Do you know how many sanctioned BLM chapters there are that are affiliated 100% with National, and they're the only ones affiliated with National?
I'm gonna go with a really low number. I'm gonna say 5.
It's higher, but not a lot. I mean, it's higher, but not a lot.
Double digits?
It is double digits.
15.
16. There are only 16 actual real.
But isn't there like 50 states?
And there's probably even more BLM chapters than that. But like Aubrey himself, even that's, and you can find the tape. It's all out there. There's a ton of people that were videoing this. News to Share is one. If you go to BLM 757, you can see a lot of that's taped there. They are not affiliated with National. They formed their own chapter. That's why it's BLM 757. And they are a 100% community driven. They were started by, part of the reason he got into it, and I won't get deep into this, but long story short, one of the gentlemen that was there speaking, which will get me to my last point, he actually, his cousin, and mind you, this man is a 13-year Army vet, and then he served on the fire department for 20 years. So he's a stand-up dude. His cousin was murdered by the police department, and when they told him, unarmed, completely unarmed, he was shot in the face first and then in the heart, unarmed. But the point of this story is that when the police were basically absolved of it because justified shooting, this man on his own spent the next 4 or 5 years fighting it. He took it all the way to the Supreme Court and got that man not only fired, but 2.5 years in jail. He took the time and, rather than rioting, rather than screaming, he took it upon himself. And like he said, there were white people that helped him do it. There were black people, there were Hispanic people, there were people of all races that helped him get this man not only fired but convicted. And I'm gonna put that story up later. I just found it, so I'm gonna put that story up. And I think because it's an interesting read, and the story of what he did it's pretty amazing. Which brings me to the last thing. So all of these groups, the really cool thing about all of these groups, and I'm gonna tell you what, Patriot groups, you should take a lesson from these guys. Not only the Black Panthers, but the Black Militias, Black Guns Matter. Maj did not make it either, but because of his plane problems. But all these groups that were there, they do something that is so interesting. Yeah, there's a reason, Jane. I'll get into that. That's why I'm going to post the article. There's a reason. Too long to explain in the next hour. But these guys are out in their communities damn near daily, if not weekly. They are out there. They are making a difference daily in their communities. They're not just out, and I'm not talking about rioting and screaming and yelling. They are out there in their communities doing something to make their community better. They don't just concentrate on black gun ownership or black this. They are about their community. Anybody that lives in their community is part of the community. Black, white, purple, green. If you're in their community, man, they are there for you when you need them. And they're, they all said, come to our neighborhood. You'll find us. We'll be there. You'll see us. You'll see us out there doing something, whether it's cleaning up a playground or rebuilding something or helping a neighbor whose house burned down, help rebuild it. These groups, man, they're walking the walk. They're not just talking it.
That sounds an awful lot like what we do.
Very simple. Very simple. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. In the end, out of all the conversations I had, I would say we are probably, all of us, even groups like the Black Panthers, we're probably 75% fighting for the same things, and we probably disagree on 25%.
Oh, yeah. And it's at 25%, and the national media
Yes.
telling you not to do anything.
Yes.
With those
Well,
people.
and what's interesting was, and then we can move on. Even Mr. Aubrey was like, he kind of gave a little bash to Joe and his new running mate.
Oh,
Not
But she,
not a
but,
fan.
but she,
Not a fan of the cop and the enforcer, as he called them.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's not the first time I've been hearing that.
yeah. Well, but it's amazing how someone who is I would call Aubrey woke. How someone who is woke can see past the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it took was, stop watching the media, go into his community, go into things like this, him walking into the Richmond rally with 20,000 rednecks.
true story.
Yeah, having conversations. The man has come up with his own opinions. And again, doesn't agree with everything we agree with, but he agrees with a lot more than he disagrees. And it's a true testament to why these events should be bigger. And he's going to keep planning them. He's actually going to try and have these like every 3 months or so at Richmond. So I told him, man, I would get on board and help him get it bigger. But it's really it's shown. Thank you, Jason.
Oh, whoa. Hi. Woo! Not repeating that one.
Oh, and on that
Wait
note,
for that view count to drop.
We didn't say it, so we might be okay for now.
yeah, but it was again disappointing that not more people turned out, and especially like the VCDL. There were about 4 guys from the group that came, but man, they really should have got more on board.
Well, but, and I know we've got a topic to talk about, but
It's a stereotype.
But you see that with all of them. The one here on the 29th, the United event here in Ohio on the 29th. I look at it like you have to take everything out of it. It can't be anything. You can't have politics or Biden or Trump or
Right, and that's the hard part.
firearms or this or that or it just has to be an American.
Well, what they did have, and I'll tell you, I was a little. I know I keep saying we're gonna move on, but so good old Mr. Spike was there.
Okay.
Spike Cohen. So I didn't tell you. He's an interesting guy. He's now whether he's well groomed but he's got the answers. He's very, how's the most polite way? He's more intelligent than I gave him credit for. Let me say that. I'm still not a huge fan of technically everything that he was saying. I thought some was a little double talk. He's a politician, so you got to take the good with the bad, I guess. But he was much better in person than I've seen his interviews on wherever, on YouTube or anywhere else. He was much more impressive in person because I think more because he basically, and it was so cool, after he gave a real short speech. He was really late and he gave a really short speech, but then he stood right in the middle of the crowd and said, ask me a question. So not prompted, no, anybody that wanted to walk up and ask him a question, he had a conversation with you. And that was kind of cool. Because it's different when you're prepping for an interview, but people were throwing like some things at him, and he was pretty. I was a little more impressed then. I don't know. I still don't know if I would vote for them. I'm not on board 100% with some of their policies, but I I left more impressed than I ever was about that.
Nice.
So, but remind me that my little story to you guys afterwards, and it'll be short. It'll be about 5-10 minutes. It's
Okay.
about Mr. Cohen. So remind me.
So I'm also going to preempt what we're about to talk about with, I was in a hurry. It should say 3 hours, not 3 days for the title of this video, and I'll fix it when the video's over. So don't be confused.
Whatever.
I didn't have anything to drink while I was waiting for my food.
I'm hardcore. I can go 3 days without it.
Wait, 3 days?
Suck it, but you can do it.
Yeah.
So anyways. But yeah, so next time this one comes around, we'll promote it a little bit more and hope we can get some more people out there. But
right, and also as Mike posted below, there is a Unify Ohio in Columbus.
April 29th or August 29th.
Is it August 29th? Dude, that's dude. I'm not gonna be able to fudge nuggets. Nope. Sorry, guys. Can't go to that one. Metallica's gonna be at the drive-in theater.
It's gonna be what?
So Metallica's doing a live drive-in theater throughout the country thing.
Really?
So for $120 a car, you can fill your car up with 6 people.
What?
For
So-
$100 or something like that.
Yeah, but you can have up to 6 people in your car. So
Damn.
technically, it's like what,
But
$20
is
a
it-
person?
Wait. Is this really where we're at right now?
Yes, dude. I need a live show. Damn it.
Yeah, it's not. It's you're watching it on TV and listening on the radio.
You don't even know if it's hot.
Hey, I'm gonna be in the company of 2 hot girls, so it doesn't matter. I'm okay.
Wow, that's really that is insane.
Yeah.
When masks
How did
have
we
become fashion.
So
when
the
masks have become fashion statements,
hold on.
and people are excited about going and watching a movie.
So what
How
what
can you
started
lie?
this? So what started this was it may not be live like as in right there that moment. They may
Okay.
it may be video from a bunch of their live shows.
Okay, fair.
So the what came of it was though is like one of the some country artist did it, and it sold out like in minutes. It sold out. So yeah. So now Metallica's like, well, we could do this. So now they announced, and that's on the
We
29th.
need money? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not jelly at all.
I get it.
All I'm saying is, when I'm sitting there scrolling and I see that Walmart's now decided at 160 of their stores, you can pre-request entry to the parking lot movie theater.
Yeah, so it's a mobile movie theater that's going to go around the country. It's basically a drive-in theater that they will use Walmart. They'll put it up in a Walmart parking lot. Walmart's specifically doing this. And then you can get tickets to see whatever they're showing at those theaters.
For free.
Are they free? Oh, they're free.
And you can order whatever you want for curbside pickup.
Nice.
Of course. Yeah, of course. You
Is it
can.
going to be a week before I can pick it up, though, the a-holes?
But I mean,
Wow.
like, all right. Well, but have we now gotten to that point where it's like, okay, we can't win. So
Oh, dude,
What
it's
is gonna
worse.
do
It's
this?
worse in Virginia. Dude, in Virginia, while we were there, everybody refused to give you change. Like, if your bill was $22.03 and you didn't have 3 cents, you had to give them $23 and didn't get change.
Ho!
Or use your card.
No. That's not okay. No.
They are, dude, they are not. We went to 7-Eleven, to Hardee's. I asked the chick at the hotel, the Exxon gas station. Yeah, if you don't have exact change, you don't get it.
Right. Yep.
I'm like, what is wrong with you people?
Ugh. Nope. Not
So
okay.
water.
I'm not buying some. I'm walking away.
So water. Water. Everybody wants preparedness stuff, so water. You can't go 3 hours. You can't do it.
What?
No. Wait, what about what? Oh yeah, Jane. Are you going what to what Jane said?
No. I'm going to the topic because we're just gonna go. We're just gonna keep going back and
Right.
back and forth about this Rona
Wa-
bullshit.
Water's gonna be pretty easy. I mean, if you don't have stuff to either filter water, um, clean water, boil water.
You can go more than 3 hours without water.
Is it? Wait, what is 3 hours then? It's hydrate, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys are gonna make me look this crap up. Dang it!
Yeah, no, I think we screwed that one up.
Hang on.
3 seconds without cognitive thought. 3
I
minutes
think
without air.
No, 3 hours is shelter, sir.
Shelter.
Yes.
Not water.
Yes.
Water is 3
Okay.
days. I was like, wait.
Water's the next
Yeah.
Water's the next one. That's what I thought. Okay.
That I
Shelter.
see. I put 3
Okay.
days and I screwed you up even.
And now
Well, we'll just call the car during the freaking rock concert at the movie theater.
and
Shelter.
when they say a 3 hour shelter, I mean you got to be one extreme or the other, right?
it's basically
Yeah.
clothing. Like, are you
That's
protecting
a
your
good
body
statement.
from the elements? Basically, is what.
Either cold or hot.
Yeah.
Extreme cold or extreme hot.
Yes.
That's like keeping a get home bag in your car or a emergency kit in your car. Have a blanket in there if you get stuck in the extreme cold.
Or
Yeah.
something. Yes.
Yeah, understanding that you can't just leave your car running to keep the AC on. And
Don't rely on a stick and a bow drill to do your
Your fire for heat. Yep.
because
No.
it could take you 3 hours just to get the damn thing lit.
Oh, I wish I could find those videos from the FTX last year.
Dude,
let's just say it's not fun.
no.
I mean, it's
energy, man.
it's a skill. It's a skill.
It's a skill that you should learn. It
It's a
is,
skill.
but being
That's
prepared
about
to use that skill is even better.
Yeah.
Skill.
Having lighters in different compartments with different bags means maybe even in a pocket or two. That way you don't ever have to do this skill.
So I did the coolest thing with. So I was at. Hold on. So I was. Oh, they're right here. So one of my auction finds, right? Yeah. One of my auction finds, I got 3 cases of these.
P-cups.
Yes, they are.
Are they drug testing in the Heartland now?
Perhaps. Just random.
Okay.
I'm going to need to take a 30-day leave.
And then I'm just going to send this to you. You have to send it back. And you can fill it with cash instead of your P, which I prefer.
Well, they're watertight, so they don't spill. So
speaking of, having fire. So what I did with these, I had a couple of fire kits, but since these are basically waterproof, I took and made, instead of one big kit, I made like 15 kits with these, and now I have them everywhere.
Yeah.
One in my trunk, one in my glove compartment, one in the center console, 2 in my bag, 2 in my other bag.
nice.
But so, if now I don't have it all in one, so if I were to lose my one thing, I've got more.
Now, in your kits, did you do the shredded wheat tinder and all that fun stuff? Nice.
I did a small lighter, I did tinder, I did matches, and I did an extra strike plate
Nice.
for the matches. So each one has that. So it's a little bit of everything, but it's just another way to, So if I lose one, I've got more.
Well, with the battle box thing that we all did there for a while, everybody kind of started getting a little annoyed because about every other box you seemed to get had 1 or 2 fire starters in it.
Yeah.
And after about the 30th one, you're like, why the hell do they keep sending fire starters? And then you realize they go in everything.
Right.
Yes.
You just want one in everything.
Yeah.
I think I've got. I am almost positive in every single bag, to include kids' bags, and stick it in the camper bag and leave it there forever bags. There's fire starters.
Oh, everywhere.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yep.
Oh, after we did the bow drill thing, I doubled up on everything.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I was
Because
like, oh hell no.
well, that's when we did it, and I'm gonna say the M word, and it's gonna annoy some people. As moist as it was outside.
Boys.
Nice.
There, I was more than willing to just take pictures and not. I did it as a kid. When we were in, when I was in like Cub Scouts or whatever, we did the bow drills with the nice hobby, like dowel rods, and they made bows with strings, so everything was nice. Yeah, well, it was nice and dry wood, and it still sucked.
But it worked. It worked easier than at the campsite.
Oh yeah.
Ow.
Oh, you had, I'll have to see if I can find them. I know they're somewhere in a folder.
People were angry.
Well, you had three grown men and women sitting around one, trying to get one started, and there were like groups of this all around the camp.
Yeah, you know what? That's the one thing that would be.
Whoa.
See, one guy do it by himself would be, dude.
Yeah,
You'd be wasted by
one person by themselves.
You'd be wasted.
Yeah.
Your arms are spent.
Yes.
I mean,
There's a lot more you can do around camp or around wherever you're at that would benefit you more than trying to start a fire with a bow drill.
Right? I mean, if that's...
I'm going to say, okay, if it is the last... I'm not, and I can't even say if it's the last thing you have to do, but if the first thing you do is figure out your shelter and then you have to have fire and you know you do, if you are that bad off that you are using and building with a bow drill, start with the fucking bow drill.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
You're going to be exhausted building your shelter, but dear God, yes, start with the bow drill.
Yeah. Because if you have fire, if you know for a fact you don't have any other way of making fire or getting fire unless the heavens open up and lightning strikes the ground in front of you, start with the bow drill, get you a fire going, get it fed, keep it going. You can shelter up.
You can roll up in something.
Over time.
Right.
Fair.
If you've got the fire for the warmth, for the protection, for the light, you can shelter up.
The warmth's going to help you
time.
recover faster than if you are trying to build
or just carry lots of fire starting.
Yeah.
Or paired with lighters.
Yeah, don't have one Ziploc bag with 50 lighters in it, Jake.
I mean,
Well,
I'm sitting in a room that I don't need fire, and I'm sitting here like this.
Yeah.
And I did, and that was me for the longest time. I had one big kit, and I'm like, man, if I lose this kit, I'm kind of screwed.
No, it's funny. Jane has a Ziploc bag full of Bic lighters. Not for her kit, not for anything in general. Just when we moved, I found this bag of Ziploc lighters. And all the time, she's like, I can't find my lighter. I'm like, how can you not find your lighter? You have an entire Ziploc bag of lighters.
Ouch, Mike. That hurts, Palmer.
Let's see.
That hurts.
What did Palmer say?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen pictures.
It can't be good. I had a conversation with him. He was not a happy person.
Yeah, I saw pictures.
Wow, Miss Jean.
Yeah.
She not here today or something?
No, she's at work. She's been at work since 3. I brought her Mexican food for when she gets home. So
she said super bad or super awesome or whatever she said about that. But
I know.
I guess we've been really.
She doesn't like me busting her balls on the show. That's all.
That bus over a couple of times, so she's a little upset now.
Yeah, you know.
Apparently.
I'm back. I like to drive over somebody, back up again, maybe drive again one more time just for good measure.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, why not?
I'm already there.
Already there, guys.
You were probably there the minute you got home. So
we're sitting here talking about it. We're sitting here talking about it. Hell, I'm gonna take I've had this little box forever. It's a little waterproof box.
That number. Yeah, you wondered about that little box.
Yeah, I've looked at it a billion times. Set it out here forever and a day ago when I got it, and was like, "Hey, how am I going to do with that thing? Tackle or something?
Yeah.
No, make a firebox out of it."
Matchbox, double-side sticky tape the striker end to the inside of one of the doors. There you go.
Mm-hmm. It's all good.
Right.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then regular shelter, I mean, if you're not at home and you need shelter, there's all kinds of stuff you can do.
So I think in all my bags, I've got at least, the minimum I have is a tarp, a Mylar blanket, and if not a large wool blanket, a twin size in some of my smaller bags, and then in my big bag, the forever bag, I've got a king size.
Ooh, a king size.
Oh yeah, I found a king size.
The Gloria.
Oh, she's pretty. She's a little heavy, so that one might get strapped to one of the dogs.
Yeah. I was gonna say that can't wait. That can't be light.
I might put that over the dog like a camel or something, because I'm not sure I want to carry it, but it's comfy as shit.
but that goes to venture. I drive a truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a toolbox. Well, most people sit there and scream, "Well, it's a toolbox on the back of a truck. Don't you have tools?" Yeah, I've got some wrenches in there. I got a jack in there. I also got a cot and a tent in there.
Right. Well, my trunk, my trunk, that's not a trunk because, the new Jeeps don't have an actual real spare tire, but they have the hole for one.
Yeah. Kia does that too.
Yeah.
They give you a can of Fix-A-Flat.
Now, currently it's still carrying the necessary tools for a trip to Virginia, perhaps, but the other kit will go back in there now. Yeah, that might be one.
Gotcha.
Yep. I mean, I was a little. I didn't know. So
did they have the fence up? Were they protecting their shelter?
So it is, dude. They've got that thing locked down harder than before.
Really?
Oh, dude, that yeah, they got more of the pretty balls out front now.
Huh.
Oh yeah, it's a 1-lane road now in front of the front. Half of that front. So you remember where we were standing?
Right.
And then there was that building before you got to the turn to go up the State House.
Right.
That now has 2 fold-down metal gates that go up and down, and that's where a few of the cop cars park now. Official vehicles park right in front of the building. So that is closed off to humans and vehicles. The gate and all that stuff is locked shut. I mean, they've got one entrance. They monitor one entrance to get in and out of the Capitol building on that side.
Well, they must just be ready to keep fucking with every American out there.
So part of the reason I may or may not have had your little kid on your arm there. And we saw the damage. The weekends before we came to this rally, there had been flat out looting. I mean, we went by, I don't know, 25, 30 plus buildings that had
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
It's amazing. So one thing I want to point out, because I hear this argument all the time, that when we talk about Second Amendment or I talk about guns with friends, not so many as much since the Rona started, because a lot of these friends have now turned to, freaking out and going and buying a gun. But that their argument about, well, if it was a group full of, minorities walking down the street with guns, they'd be shot or arrested immediately. Saturday probably proved that wrong.
Yes.
If not many other things
No,
like
it was,
NVAC
it was
and
interesting. So, it was interesting. So, obviously the Huey B. Brown group did, they obviously came, armed, and you can see the pictures on Aubrey's thing. Believe it or not, the Black Panthers came very, very gray man.
wow.
Yes.
They're normally a group that likes to be like, look at us, we are here. At least
Yeah.
old Black Panthers did.
Yes.
Well, I know of the, and you said they were the new Black Panthers, right?
Well, yeah, I mean they because the original Black Panthers kind of tapered off, so it's kind of it's a new younger. Most of the members look very young that were there. I mean, I would say I don't know if there was any guys even my age. I mean, they were all young.
So they're probably just running with the way of the times. Because when I think of Black Panthers, I think of, and ask me if I care, I think of the Proud Boys, where it's a uniform, color-coded.
Oh, so they did. So they were all matching, all same shirts, same pants. All the same cover. I think pretty much the same cover, except for some of them did have an insignia. I don't know if it was a rank or whatever on the front of the hat.
Then I would not say they're gray man, because that does not make you.
Well, I mean, gray man is
disappear.
Gray man as far as weapons are concerned.
Okay.
Well, plus on top of, they probably didn't look tactical either.
No, they just looked like an organized group. Hold on, one guy with the garter gripper gloves. Well, yes. I wasn't going to go there, Jason. One guy. So, again, a lot of them were younger.
No.
They were younger. There was a young gentleman who Jason and I kind of started to keep our eye on, because he wasn't, sometimes you may lean on, or you may, rest an arm on. Yeah, he was gripping.
Oh, like he was ready to
Yeah.
Ready for anything all the time.
And I'm like, maybe not a good idea.
Nah, but hey,
present company.
Hey, he didn't accidentally shoot any of his own people, right?
He did not.
So he did do better than another group.
That's one up.
Yes, it was a plus. I mean, but it was like, and it was when they were getting ready to leave. So I think, it was like, hey, just want to let you know, before he left, he was one of the younger guys. So I'm sure it was a, puff. It was, you know what it was? You said it perfect. It was a Proud Boy moment. It was a Proud Boy moment. For sure.
I hate that we're stepping away yet again. It's on the top of our minds. It was freaking yesterday, people. We talked about it at the beginning of the show, Mike, that 75% of what all these groups are doing are the same thing. 25% are different. I mean, there's the spectrum, the right and the left, and you've got the people that are down the middle, and then you go out from it. And I mean,
and it's funny. I would, believe it or not, I would really the gentlemen and ladies that were there for I would honestly probably put them more in the middle than I would put them in the left. If you really because all they were really, they were very focused on the black community. I mean, that's their mission. Their mission is the black community. But it isn't F. Whitey, black only. It's, hey, nobody's going to take care of us like us.
Right.
That was, it wasn't F Democrats. It wasn't F. I'm going to tell you what. Other than Spike Cohen be there, dude, there was almost zero political talk. Well, I mean,
we need more events like that, because when you do events like Second Amendment rallies, gun rallies, any rally that isn't the focus of a political subject, which is Republican, Democrat, president, whatever, you should leave. It shouldn't be politics. It shouldn't be. Because rallies lose me.
Right.
Like, I agree with some of the rioting BLM stuff. But as soon as they start going F Trump, F this, F that, now mind you, I don't care either way what you say about Trump.
Doesn't affect me.
It doesn't affect me because I don't care.
It hurts your feelings a little, right?
No, I don't give a shit.
but it's the same concept. This is going to piss a lot of people. This will piss a lot of people off. This will piss a lot of people off. But the burning of the flags.
Yes.
Okay? The burning of the flags. My wife was watching the News to Share video from Georgia.
Yep.
Right? Have you had a chance, Costa?
I saw pieces, parts. I have not seen it all.
Jeremy, have you had a chance?
Yep.
Okay. So this video got pretty dicey.
Oh,
she was watching. I mean, there were sidearms being drawn and put back into waistband holsters from the gangster styles. There was a lot of fighting to get flags and the burning of Confederates and Americans and all these flags. One woman standing there screaming as if she had been a slave her entire life, probably never been a slave. It was heated. It was heated. She looked at me and said, "What's the point in burning the flags?" And I said, "It's to piss people off."
All they do to do it is to get a reaction and try to get you in trouble. I warn people all the time.
As a U.S. Army soldier, at this point in time, you can do whatever you fucking want to the flag. I'm done. I'm done. If that's all you want is me to be pissed off so you can record me beating your ass, I'm done.
They use it. All the groups that do it use it to try to get a reaction.
Well, what's funny too, and I'll have to go back to watch the video and see what group she's in. But there was a couple of young ladies who spoke that were very, very articulate with their with what they're saying, and it was interesting. So she said, as she's kind of doing her thing, she said, I don't know about you, but I don't kneel for anybody. I stand. And I was like, everybody in the crowd knew what that was. But here's the great thing. Do you know that I would say 99.9% of the people cheered about that? BLM members, Black Guns Men, the Boogaloo Boy. I mean, all these people cheered for. I was like, that's so. I mean, dude, I'm going to tell you what. If you were there, just about 90% of stereotypes were like, poof, out the door.
I really want to know. And our view count right now is up to like 26. So if you're new to this and you can enlighten me, I really want to know how many people feel that the country is as truly divided as the media makes it out to be.
Oh.
I truly want to know if the NFL and their the pledge or not Pledge of Allegiance, I'm sorry, the national anthem and then the Black national anthem, if that's really a thing, if that's really what the American people, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all of them, if that's really what the American people want, every single diverse group wants their own national anthem. If that really is truly what this country wants, then nobody should stop it. But I don't see that.
No, and I'm going to tell you what. When you were there at this rally, and I understand people staying away. I mean, I know, the stereotype of people hear BLM. And if you guys that are just joining us now, you'll have to go back to the beginning of the video once it's over and understand where I'm coming from, because you'll have to hear the whole story.
At 50, I think we should keep going.
Yeah, well, so...
Whoa.
So, yeah, I know. Easy, killer.
Don't be making any promises.
So 16. Yeah, he's got Mexican to eat, man. So there's only 16 chapters. Everybody talks about the 3 women who started BLM. Okay, so this is the only recap I'm going to give, and then we're moving on. There are only 16 chapters in the entire BLM spectrum across this country that are associated with those 3 women. Everybody else is a completely separate chapter. They are their own chapters who have taken up the mantra of it's not. They want to police their communities. They want the same things that we want in our neighborhoods. And they know. And I'm going to tell you what. You sit down and talk with them. They know that there's crime in their neighborhoods. They know that there's drugs, and they are working. I'm going to tell you what. These individual groups, they are working hard, and you will never see it in the press because it doesn't fit the narrative. They're working hard in their communities to make their communities better. They're not looking to make white communities worse. They're looking to make black communities better, and they're out there doing it. And you've got to, if you don't have a conversation, the whole point of this rally, and again, there was Black Panthers, there was black militias, there was Black Guns Matter, who's actually a conservative group. There was this group, Us for Us. There's all these groups who do this amazing work in these black communities that you'll never see on the news because it doesn't fit the narrative and it doesn't keep us divided. But at that very moment, every one of us, patriots like myself, there were other patriot groups there. There were people from, white militias. We were all having conversations because it was such a small, intermittent group in the end. We were all having these great conversations, and we're so much more alike and so much want the same things for this country. Everybody wants to be free of government interference. They want to be able to protect themselves. They want to be able to own guns. They want to be able to have free speech and say what, when there's bad things happening. They want people to listen to them. And I'm going to tell you what, man, there's no difference than us. I mean, there really isn't. And all the bad shit you see on the media is them trying to keep us divided. It's that simple.
That was going to be my question is you had stated that the rally basically had Columbus rally numbers.
Yes.
So that whole process of people being scared of what may happen at the rally due to what they see online, what they see from other rallies, the violence, the people punching each other. I saw something at one of a rally or whatever where they attacked a quadriplegic or something and beat somebody up that was missing I don't know. I saw a quick thing of it, and I was like, "This is disgusting," and I turned it off.
There wasn't even voices raised.
But that's what I'm saying though is because there were such small numbers. Do you think those the numbers were affected because what you see on the news and what you're seeing scrolling through Facebook that they're not blocking because it's feeding a narrative of you don't want to get together with other people that are different than you because this could happen? Is that a possible narrative that?
It's possible. I mean, it's possible.
I think the day might be a problem too.
What? Because it was a Saturday?
With it pouring down rain.
Well, yeah, no, and I think again, the great part about it was even though it was a very small group, it was many groups. Again, there was probably, I would tell you there at Smallville as a crowd, there was at least 15 to 20 different groups represented at this thing.
Nice.
Even if they were in small numbers, they were still representative. And again, there were conversations where people were like, "Well, I don't prescribe to that. I don't believe that." And people are like, "Well, that's cool. I mean, I understand. I don't believe that." And the funny thing is, there were even certain conversations go, "Well, I know your national does this, this, and this," and they're like, "Well, no, actually, we're not part of national, so we don't believe any of that garbage."
Nice.
So, I mean, that's the thing that, I mean, it's amazing it's amazing how going out of your comfort. And I went with myself and Jake. There was two of us. We walked into this rally not knowing if there was going to be 100 people or 100,000. Two of us alone, just two of us. We went there, and I'm telling you, we had conversations with people I guarantee most of the people on here would not have a conversation with, because that uncomfortable and the divide that the media has kept us at.
But Cosper, it goes to the same thing. That what event was it? Was it Mar 2018 or 2017 or whatever? I can't remember which one it was. That one of the Reuters or somebody posted an article, and in the middle of this article had our organization's name down there with some of the most bullshit tags to it that you could find, because they didn't talk to anybody. They just saw us standing there in shirts next to the stage and knew what the shirt said and said these people were there. And these are who they are. I mean, they had us.
Brian made an interesting point too. That I think that was probably part of it. Virginia is very weird right now with the COVID thing too.
Oh.
Now, mind you, there were people there that didn't have masks. There were a lot of people who did. So they are they might even be Ohio plus.
Oh.
There, as far as I'm telling you, it was weird places, some places.
Are they still at the point where they're, I'm reading it, just trying to catch, I'm not doing the see more, but are they at the point where the population's just starting to say, okay, maybe it's okay to go outside again?
The streets were very, the streets were very empty. General. In general, the streets were very empty. Not just the rally. There was very few people out and about. And I'm talking weird where you walk into a store or a restaurant and they are immediately like, you can't be in here without a mask. Hey, you need a mask.
Oh, wow.
They are vocal about it.
I walked into the restaurant today without a mask, got a few side eyes, but then we went out to the outside table and left me alone.
Well, yeah, and that's almost the places are around here. But yeah, in Virginia, it's very weird. You can tell they're in a very weird, and you can tell there's people coming out of this going, man, I don't know, man, we've been doing this for a long time and shit seems kind of okay. So, but then there's people that are I'm telling you what, there was a couple times in stores where the 7-Eleven by our hotel, the young Arab guys running the place were like, fuck it, I don't care. They're the only people. Everybody else was. But I'm telling you, I walked into the store and there was a guy on the other side of the door and had a mask on and I didn't. I'm telling you, that dude backed up 15 freaking feet to let me in.
6 feet.
He was like,
interesting.
So that might have kept some people away.
Yeah. And maybe the fear of the restrictions, because I know there's been a lot of events in Ohio that have gone on trying to do things where there may have been more people, but due to the restrictions, people were scared to go, worried about it getting shut down.
Well, here's the other thing that's great, and I never knew this either being there. Do you know Aubrey never asked? He doesn't get a permit.
Really?
Ever.
Really? Peacefully assembling doesn't need to be paid for?
And here's the greatest thing about it though. So it's not permitted, and yet the police helped them show where to set up the canopies, and blocked off the road for them.
Oh, wow. Nah, see, you got to buy a permit here in Columbus, because if you don't, anybody that doesn't like what you're saying and setting up your thing will buy a permit out from under you and make you stand out by the street.
Well, okay. So the area they used, we were in the street.
Yeah, they blocked the street off.
We were in the street.
Ugh.
Okay. Oh, you don't need a permit to be in the street.
Was there a permit, Jeremy, to ask this question? Did they have a permit while they were doing all the protest march right after George Floyd's death?
Why would they permit that? That was a march.
Same concept.
and you know what? I started to wonder. They had a permit. You know, the VCDL had a permit for at the Capitol, but I don't know if they had a permit for all of us people standing in the street.
No.
I doubt it.
I don't think they did. And Virginia's an interesting place, and a couple of the speakers. And if you don't know, and you're gonna have to, people that are watching, you're gonna have to go out of your comfort zone to know what I'm talking about. It's called Black Lives Matter 757. It's a friend of mine, Aubrey. It's a rally I went to. Go on there, find the rally from yesterday, watch the rally, and I think you'll be surprised by the things you saw. His particular group is doing things the right way, and I think if you watch it, you're going to see some interesting stuff. You're going to see some stuff that you don't agree with. And I had conversations with Aubrey.
And that's okay.
And it's okay, because guess what?
It's okay to disagree.
And guess what? They don't care if you disagree, and they don't care that you have things that they disagree. They still want to have a conversation with you. That was the beautiful thing. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious that our particular group and the Black Panthers on the surface don't have a lot in common on the surface, but they are willing to have a conversation with you about it, and they're okay that you don't believe everything they believe. They're okay with it.
I was going to ask this. I was going to ask this question. You know, we may not agree with 100% of what the new Black Panthers say, or 100% with, you know, BLM 757. We may not be 100%.
And we don't.
But how hard is it for us as an organization and what we believe in and what we're trying to do to reach out to these guys in like BLM 757 or the new Black Panthers and say, is there anything that we can do to help you? Can we? You want to put on an event? Can we help with that event? Can we take a burden off of you for that? Can we help in your community? You know, in our group alone, there's a saying, and we all say it. If I don't know how to do it, I know a guy.
Yep.
I know a guy, I know a gal, I know somebody that can do that. So, just like you were saying, Cosper, the BLM 757, they're in their community. They're rebuilding their community. They're policing their community. They're trying to clean up their community.
You got to, hold on real quick. Steve, you got to go back and watch the whole thing, and you'll understand, or I'll talk to you later. There's a huge difference between one and the other. They're here and here. They're completely different than what you think. Turn off your TV and turn off Facebook.
Right.
Finish your point.
Except for us. We'll tell you the truth. We'll tell you the truth as long as they let us do it. God, I think this video might get a freaking "this isn't the truth."
We'll probably get clipped.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, no, and that's all. You know, again, you're not. You're if you go and sit down with the Black Panthers like I did, and have a conversation with you, you're not going to agree on everything, but it's just amazing at how many things, how much of they believe in the Constitution, and they believe in the Second Amendment, and they believe in protecting yourself. They believe in smaller government. They want government out of their lives. You would be amazed at how similar we are. And it's just, and again, you can't take what you see on the surface in the media, because it's all bullshit unless you go and which is, again, why I went to this rally. And mind you, this rally was put on by a Black Guns Matter, who is a conservative group, and BLM, who is moderate, I would say, compared
on the surface. Just those letters on the surface right now, they're a radical group,
right?
Burning shit to the ground.
And these guys don't. These guys are looking to do things in their community. They started because of things that people that were murdered in their communities, and And Aubrey, and if you go back again, go out of your comfort zone. You know, and I see we're losing people, but
Yep.
you know, you know what? Hey, you turned it off and you close your mind, we'll go nowhere. I'm going to tell you that much right now. But if you go to BLM 757 and you watch the video from yesterday, listen to Aubrey's story, listen to some of these guys' stories, and I'm going to tell you, you will be amazed at the truth. Because the truth is not what you see on Fox. It's not what you see on MSNBC. It's not even what you see on half of the news stations on this, you know, on the screen you're watching now. You have to go and have a real conversation with these people. And they, guess what? They will tell you the truth. These guys don't bullshit you. They're not going to bullshit you. They will tell you the truth, and you'd be amazed at what the truth is.
Now, I know we're way over.
Way over.
Real quick, the one thing that I always hear everybody, you don't have to agree on everything. When did it become a thing that you had to agree on everything with somebody to be associated or to get along with somebody? I mean, when you were dating, I mean, I know for some of you, dating was a really long time ago. You were with your wives for however many years, whatever. But when you were dating, were you dating to look for that exact somebody that agreed and liked everything you liked 100%? No. So, and we do that all throughout. Like, I listen to all kinds of different music. Jane's turned me on to some stuff that I may not have listened to in the past. It doesn't mean I'm anything different, or it just... it's gotten weird where we have to, when it comes to politics, if you don't agree with me 100%, F you, you suck. On that note, that's not what I agree on. But we're at quarter after.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, Palmer? If you watch that video, these guys all say the exact same thing. You would think they're all Democrats? Hey. Oh boy, are you wrong?
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is tonight, guys. We'll end it.
Yep.
Every single person that's in this feed. Every single one in this feed.
How about I link their video to our page?
That's fine. Every single one of you that's still watching this feed, every single one of the 50 of you that watch this feed, every single person, I want to see your face. Walk up to me. I'm 6'5" and I have a giant red beard. Walk up to me on August 29th at the Columbus State House.
There you go.
And say something. I don't care if you scream in my face because it doesn't offend me, but say something.
Yeah, come meet us. Come and I'll tell you all these stories in person. Aubrey, I did invite Aubrey. He was going to come, but he's actually got, and I was going to talk to you, Tracy, but I think if you're still here, Aubrey actually has an event in DC that day. So, but he did promise me if you do another one, he will make that one. So, but we'll talk about it later on the other chat.
On that note, everybody, thank you for watching. Whoever shared, all you that shared and liked, thank you for watching, for sharing. That's the note I'm leaving on, the one you're pointing at. That's hilarious. Thank you for share, subscribe, watch it again, share with your friends, get other people to watch, even if you don't like them. We will be here again next Sunday, 8, and the title will be the same title as tonight. We'll talk about 3 days, I do believe, this is the next one. And thank you, too, for your time, as always. Mike, go get some sleep.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
And everybody else, have a good, safe week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Appreciate it, guys.